Squawk, fellow sorrowers, and welcome back if you have returned to this expose of the BBC as they try to expose Max Beers as a drug-addled lunatic when he was anything but. Yeah, I'm up for this. Let's crack on.
I'd sort of float up above my bed, through the roof of the house, up further and further, and then I'd go through a set of black clouds.
When they were bitten, they were brainwashed.
Oh, right. So, sorry, I should have shown you the beginning. They opened it up with Max speaking as a child, yeah, just like stating all this, you know. When I saw the UFO out of the window, completely like such bad form, you know, really tasteless, really bad taste. Just make them sound like a child now, you know? The imagination of a little child. That's all that is. Why else do it? Why else do it? They've got, fuck me, how many interviews do you do? About 50 interviews, each one about hour, 2 hour long. No, that's what they do. That's what they do, right? They pay a voice, it's not the kid's fault, obviously, but they pay the child voice actor to read some of the things he said, because that's directly from the interviews. So he's a grown man. It's not like, you know, a child actor doing a reconstruction of Max, you know, as a child being recorded or something. That's him. They just, we'll get a little kid to do it. Fucking make him like a right cunt.
Up all the time, we would play little games.
There was a fatherly bit to him, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was definitely a fatherly, absolutely a protector of me. He was absolutely outstanding to me. Me and him were incredibly close. I mainly think about him the most when I'm by myself, actually. That's kind of one of the hardest things, is when I'm alone. He was very, very charismatic. He wouldn't like hide his beliefs. He would try and put it out there. It's one of the main things I really loved about him.
People were really fond of Max. He always seemed to leave an impression. Miles first met Max at a Super Soldier conference in Nevada, and they became good friends.
Well, I do interviews, and rather than setting it all up and having tripods over the place, when I built this place, I decided to put this lighting grid on it. I can make it do different colours.
Do you ever have a disco in here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Let's think of some horrible ailment that you might have. Backache, yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is what you get when you hire an organic portal to do an interview of this longitude and latitude. Okay? So last time she was only interested in Max's teenage haircut, and this time the first thing that comes to mind after what's been told to us, oh, you know, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Yeah, you know, oh, does it do disco lights? This is what I mean. She doesn't care. Her heart is not in what he was trying to teach about the heart. Okay?
It won't take a second.
So what right does she have to be doing a documentary on him?
He's four-armed, Miles. What's going to happen?
Well, what will happen is you will feel a sensation. Program running.
Oh, sorry guys. I don't know what this is all about. It's like they got bored or something. Fucking smiling and laughing. Yeah? Poor bloke's dead. Yeah? Close friend. And she really cares, wants to know that, you know, the real person behind the conspiracy theorist. They're laughing and giving each other fucking electric shocks to the nipples. Sorry, I'll get you to...
He lost control.
Max, on one level, is an extremely intelligent, erudite, fun guy, in love, loves the birds, great guy. Make no mistake about it, Max was no saint. He did some recreational drugs, he drank like hell, and he had a good time. Now,
okay, so that means you're not a saint. I don't understand that response, that remark, do you? It's not good to do drugs, it's not good to drink too much. I don't know what the last part was about, and he likes to have a good time. Okay. I'm having a good time right now doing this for you guys and for myself. It's fun. I don't understand. And I don't agree with drugs and alcohol because I know how it creates a void in a person. Trust me, mine was very big. It takes a long time to get it small again. And even then, it's usually still there a little bit. Yeah, that don't make you a saint, but it don't fucking make you a sinner, does it? How many of us have been there? And if he's gone through what he claims he's gone through, I'm surprised he didn't do worse, didn't do more. I'm surprised that wasn't what didn't kill him.
I met
Anyway.
him in Canterbury. We were being tracked by
They're trying to get there and you know, blacking out his name.
at least 4 pairs of agents.
Oh, last thing really quick. When I said in part 1, you know, considering he was a super soldier, he must have done some disgusting things to humanity. Obviously, I don't condone that at all. But can you imagine having a choice in that situation? Half the stuff he did, he probably didn't even fucking realise he did it until he'd done it. Because of all the alters, yeah, all the programming. That's all I meant.
But there was one particular guy who was making a big show of walking around the place. And he actually did a thing called Trigger Max. It was one of the things, this is the whole point about these children, is that you can program a person's personality.
So they behave in different ways according to what you
Yes,
want them
and with
to
a
do.
trigger word, which is what's called a trigger word, bingo, they will switch.
Miles is suggesting here that Max, if I've got this right, could be switched on.
Oh, she's such a moron. First of all, he's not suggesting, right? Fact. We know that. Yes. What trigger words? Yeah. You know that just through simple organic portal level Darren Brown click of the finger hypnotism. We know that that's a fact, right? But it's still a suggestion to the way she's trying to teach people what it is. You see? If I've got this right.
And off into different states by unknown people. He even goes on to suggest
One of the signatures of programming is addictive behaviours.
Here we go. Drugs then, yeah?
Max's relationship
See?
with drugs.
I haven't seen this far. I haven't seen this bit. Of course, because everyone associates the word addiction to drugs. I've covered this. You can be addicted to so much else, everything else, anything else. It really makes no difference whatsoever. No difference whatsoever. So, no, it's not that, okay?
So he did something, jumped over something, perfectly, wasn't drunk, nothing, jumped over something, managed to land awkwardly and got a crack in his pelvis, went to hospital in America, and they gave him one of those powerful drugs.
Oxycontin?
Either Oxycontin or it might have been Percocet.
Oh, I see. So she knows absolutely zero about MKUltra programming, you know, or the alters that come with it, trigger words, you know, nothing about any of that. But as soon as they go onto drugs, isn't it ironic that she knew exactly what the drug would be that Max would have possibly, apparently, taken? Okay. All right. Believable. Yeah. This is what I mean by the mother being coursed, yeah? Because she's like, oh, he's on this drug. Oxycontin. Yeah.
And awkwardly and got a crack in his pelvis, went to hospital.
Look how quick she jumps in with
they
it.
Gave him one of those powerful drugs.
Oxycontin?
Either Oxycontin or it might
Boom. Yeah. She's an agent.
have been Percocet, and it created a really big problem. Really big problem.
Oxycontin and Percocet are very common prescription opiates used in the States, and overprescribing of this kind of drug has caused a big rise in heroin addicts in America.
Did he experiment?
He went all the way down to using heroin.
To heroin, yeah.
Only once he couldn't get the pills anymore. There were a couple of times that he had relapses, and he came here, he was as clean as a whistle, absolutely nothing wrong with him at all. But that leads us to the point.
Okay. That leads me to the point before you give yours, love, that you're being coerced. You are being coerced because, again, it's the head movements and stuff, because she's not, I don't think she's a liar. Do you know what I mean? And when people who like to tell the truth lie, it's pretty easy to see they are. He either didn't take heroin at all, or maybe he did. Maybe he did, but you're not going to turn up completely clean, fine, sober in that sense.
Point of when he went to Poland and perhaps he was out of his depth.
You see that look? It's that look like, am I saying this right to you? Am I giving it what you've told me to give it and not giving it what you told me not to?
Relapse? I don't know.
Max had sought help for his addiction in the past, but the way that Miles talks about it, that his addiction was actually controlled by extraterrestrial forces, is pretty extreme.
It's called trauma-induced mind control. You put the individual into a state of trauma, so their normal personality basically wants to get out of that trauma. It wants to kill the pain. And once that happens, bingo, you've shattered the individual's personality, and then the person who's done that can control that. And you can have a couple of hundred different personalities.
Well, that just sounds like addiction, though, but you've given it a face.
No, that's
What
why
a
it's the
fucking...
trauma
Oh.
which causes you to go for the addiction to get rid of the trauma.
I wonder if that's not quite a dangerous explanation for addiction. Could it stop somebody from getting the help that they need? Take a look at this film. It was recorded apparently...
Right, I'm just going to put this out there, although I'm sure you've already come to this conclusion. So, if you've got a reporter making a documentary on, say something a bit more simple, say on a politician, or politics in itself, they should probably know some politics, right? Or at least know something about the politician they're covering. Or an actor, celebrity, it doesn't matter. But you're going to know something about them, right? You're going to know something about that lifestyle of the person you're covering, or the lifestyle itself. She knows absolutely Jack in the box, fuck all. Jack shit. Yeah? Nothing. So why have they put her on? Because it further dilutes his teachings. If she don't understand it, how are you when you're the connection to Max Spears right now through her, the reporter, as an audience, as a viewer? Yes, they just gave you Saturn.
4 days before Max died in Poland. The interviewer is a man called Alex Berdovich.
In pink and yellow for sexual violence, yeah, of course. And you believe the divine feminine.
He knew Max and also Monica very well.
Hi, today we are with Max Spears again, and we are recording only the voice because we don't have a good place to record the camera.
This appears to be the last interview ever recorded with Max. I think it's important, not because of what Max says, but how he says it.
Hang on. So, I've watched this interview, I've watched most of his interviews, but I've seen this last one. He's very out of it, yeah. He is, he's confused, he's disorientated, he's, you can tell he's dehydrated, okay? So, they're just going to go drugs, basically. And of course, it was the last interview, so it would have been drugs that killed him, right? But this is the way people act when they are disassociating from personalities, moving from one alter to the other. This is, which he does in the interview a few times. It's also how someone acts when they are being attacked psychically. And there's so many other ways to look at it, but they've gone straight to drugs because that's all she understands, and that's all they want you to understand. And they certainly want you to understand it, to stand under the training that they're trying to give you, okay? So she's going to rip him apart through this because he sounds like shit. It's simple, okay? And they just go straight onto drugs.
I think it's important, not because of what Max says.
That's it, and it's not important what Max says. If you listen to what he actually says, you'll see that it's not incoherent the way that someone that was drug-addled, drug-riddled would be. Okay, he is making sense. It's just hard to get out. That's it. That's it. Yeah, drugs can do that. But he's not talking out of his arse. He's still making a lot of sense if you actually listen to what he's saying. But she's not. She's going to listen to the way he's saying it. If you're going to do that, there's no point watching the interview because you won't understand a word he's saying. Exactly.
But how he's saying it.
First letter A, last letter O, so we have alpha to the omega.
Yes.
So we have we have a full controlling system by, I just felt a surge of positive energy helping me out there when I said that A to the O.
Yeah, it sounds really high.
Yeah. He sounds really high. Yeah. You fucking know nothing, love. Nothing at all. She don't even know what he's talking about. So the A and the O, he was talking about Michael Aquino, right? And why Michael Aquino chose that name. Because it's the Queen, which is negative female, the divine feminine. So his names are like sigils, but as words. So it's going to collect energy. And did that not make sense? A is alpha, O is omega. Because he went, it is alpha, it is omega. Oh, he's high. No, he's just high, he's just talking shit. Just high.
Dry mouth as well. Like tacky.
And his thoughts.
Sweetheart, this documentary is tacky. You need... Honestly, a child could do better. They really could as well, because they'd be honest.
This is an hour and 16 minutes long.
Fucking raising your eyebrow. Like, whoa, like that's just way too much. You see what I'm saying, guys? Do you see where I'm coming from, where I'm going to, yeah? If an hour and 60 minutes is going to make you raise your fucking eyebrow, you're not willing to learn, are ya? Are ya?
I feel like this part here is almost being like something's going like this to my throat. To my head and my head.
You can hear this?
Heard it.
You heard it?
Yeah, those words.
It's like a woman's voice going in the background. Okay, there's another sign that says after about...
Yeah, that would be the camera woman. Idiot.
30 minutes, Max almost fell asleep. So we decided to take a break, let him jump on the trampoline to refresh for a few minutes, and start the interview from the beginning. We recorded his jumping.
We had a kind of removal of your consciousness for some time. You felt bad, but now you are back, yeah?
Yes.
So what did you feel, what happened? Please explain.
I think I disassociated, and then basically that's what happened.
So the first topic...
Look at her little face. Look at her. Look at this little tear, this little mutt. When he says the word disassociate, to make the viewers go, yeah, that's a bit weird. He's telling you. Why would he lie about that? Either he's completely full of shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, alright, according to her, he's high as a kite, right? So, when he says he's disassociated, I mean, that's quite you got to know what you're talking about to say that. You got to know what you're feeling to believe that. Drugs aren't going to do that to you. You'd be too fucking out there. Way too out there. If that was the case. So, I don't know what they're trying to get at there. I really don't.
I'm quite tired, so just letting you know.
He was in such a dreadful state. Oh, we can't film this guy. But you can hear him. You can hear him, you know, his...
Basically, that's what happened.
So the first topic, let's
I'm
talk
quite
about...
tired, so just letting you know.
He was in such a dreadful state. Oh, we can't film this guy. But you can hear him. You can hear him, you know, his throat failing and gurgling, and it's horrendous.
My face.
That's because he was being made to stop saying what he was saying. Why do you think that they failed to see this? They failed to address this, and they certainly failed to mention this. The last interview that someone gives before they die, let's just go with the way they see it, yeah? That he just died, right? Drug overdose. Okay. If we go the other way, wouldn't it make sense that the main attack the worst attack that you'd ever experience would be the one just before the last thing you said that got you killed? You see what I mean? It was that's the way I see it, at least. It was the last one. It was, you really need to shut the fuck up now. And we're even trying to help you along the way by affecting your speech, you know, making you feel like you're going to pass out every 5 seconds. But he fought through it. And if you listen to that interview, you can hear him fighting through it. You're on drugs. You're high, as she put. Yeah? You're enjoying yourself too much to give a shit. You feeling, you have that ecstasy, right? Or that your dopamine level is through the roof. Why would you give a shit? Why would you fight it? It's causing you pain, it's causing you panic, it's causing you distress, causing you anxiety. But you fought through it anyway. And then they murdered him for it.
Feels on fire.
His face feels on fire.
Okay.
No drug would make you feel that way, right? You might see it if you're hallucinating. You might, do you know what I mean? You're not going to fit, my face feels like it's on fire. That's because he was under psychic fucking attack. That's why.
Thank you.
It's not hard to do.
Interview for sharing this difficult stuff.
You're very welcome.
I think he sounds as if he's got drugs in his system, no question in my mind. And I can't believe that anybody would release an interview like that.
After he died, as well, to publish it. 3 days after he died, I
Yeah,
think.
2 or 3 days after.
Well, it was his last words. He'll probably want them out, right? Even if you didn't think that it was good enough as an interviewer, she obviously thinks this is good enough as an interviewer. But the guy that interviewed Max last probably didn't think it was very good, but he did it anyway because Max wanted it out. Why was Max even giving the interview if he didn't want his words out, let alone his last ones? It's not hard to figure out, is it? But the interview puts down that factor and uses it to big up her own in doing this interview, which is a complete fucking farce. Absolute mockication to the one in question.
Is that was probably, I think he was dying in that. I think he was absolutely dying, which is another reason why I won't listen to it. I think that was the end.
Alex Berdovich doesn't want to talk to us about Max at all, but I'm hoping Monica DeVal can help shed some light on Max's last few days. We know she was there when he died.
Very welcome.
Were those some of the final words of Max Spears? And will any of the people who were last with him break their silence?
If they do, they're dead too, eh, darling? See you in the next one. Right, let's get it up.
Max Spears, a British conspiracy
Yeah,
theorist.
we know all this. All right.
Have you had any contact with her since the night that he died?
Yes, I have. I spoke to Monica for probably a couple of weeks.
Okay.
She was kind. She lived in a lovely house, and she'd said to Max, come stay here for a while. Got a couple of good business things that we can get going.
Do you think it was just a business relationship?
No, I don't. I believe there was a lot of pressure from the other side, not from him.
Why do you think Monica's stopped being in contact?
I don't know what happened, but I know that there's been a lot of people suggesting a lot of things. And there'll be a lot of things in her direction. I'm sure that she wants to go very quiet.
Some of the people caught up in Max's story have been attacked or accused online by other conspiracy theorists. It's all...
Okay, but all the other apparent conspiracy theories have just been attacked through this documentary. You see how they do it? It's misdirection.
got pretty bitter from what I can see. Monica's certainly not alone in going quiet. Perhaps
Bitter.
she's afraid. But as far as we know, she was the last person with him. Vanessa...
To have the spine to call us bitter... Saddened, yeah, he's dead. But we're bitter about it. I'll tell you what, this is one of the most bitter specimens... excuses for a human being that I've ever heard speak.
told me that Monica sent her Max's phone and
Even if what she speaks is lies.
that the laptop had been almost completely wiped. Maybe by Max, maybe by someone else. I head to an address where we think Monica may have lived.
This is the only house that we can find in relation to Monica DeVal. It's the only address that we can find with any attachment to her name. So we don't know if this is the place that Max died, but it could be, and that's why we've come here today. We know that he died.
So that can be or can't be, that's fine, but all the other stuff they just wrote off completely, straight away, conspiracy theory. You see? Do you see? Okay, hang on a minute.
Distrust is something we're definitely coming up against. There's a conference of conspiracy theorists or truth seekers happening in Warsaw. Initially, they were up for us coming and filming, but they changed their mind. We're not welcome either.
I love how she says distrust is something we're up against now, because we're starting to realise how untrustworthy they are, right? So they're telling you that in plain sight, as they do with this part.
To listen. The shutters are coming down on us.
They won't let her interview him.
I wanted to go to this conference just to listen, just to see what it was like. But they're obviously quite suspicious of the media. We're probably part of the New World Order. As far as I'm concerned. So we can't go.
Yeah, you are though, aren't you? That's why you said that. Because you know fuck all about it, right? She knows nothing about it. She stated that. What's this? What's that? Duh. Right? Don't know why they put her on. Well, now you do. Because she does really. Yeah? And what she doesn't know, she doesn't need to know. Because it helps their case as the BBC broadcast. It helps them disprove his words. Right? You see her little micro-expression, a little deep in delight. Ready?
For us coming and filming, but they changed their mind.
And she smirks, taking the piss out of
We're
us
not
all.
welcome even to listen. The shutters are coming down on us.
The shutters, the blinds. Yeah, vocabulary, always.
Just to listen, just to see what it was like. But they're obviously
Watch the road, love.
suspicious of the media. We're
Steering
probably
wheel.
part of the New World Order, as far as they're concerned. So we can't go. But I want to be there. I want to see where Max last gave his last speech.
Yeah, right, sure you do. So, they have told her, they've asked her first, and then and her crew, and now they've told her second and her crew, don't come. Okay, please don't come, and then don't come. We don't want you there, right? Because they know better, same way you and I do, right? So what does this cunt do anyway? Out of the wishes of the ones that really do appreciate Max, and she didn't ever even fucking knew him, let alone cares to, what does this cunt do anyway? Let's see.
If we can park. I mean, who's not fascinated in a story that possibly involves aliens or satanic cults? At the end of the day, though, Max died in July. And I do worry, and I'm curious whether all of these stories are actually
Stories, not eyewitness accounts, stories.
the truth of what actually happened to Max.
Oh, what actually happened. She said she doesn't know what happened, but her facts are the 2 litres of black liquids and the inconclusive death report. So they're the facts that she's literally said, fact, blah, fact, blah, right? But somehow that doesn't tie in at all, you know?
Where Max gave his last lecture in Poland.
We know there are people who knew Max inside the conference. They really don't want us here.
They really don't want us there, right? This is what I'm chatting, right? So what does she do? Completely disrespects their wishes.
Stop us going inside and retracing Max's steps.
And does it anyway.
Max was standing pretty much exactly.
She does it anyway.
Yeah. From what we've seen, this is one of the last photos of Max alive. Something definite about Max.
He looks high as a kite, doesn't he? He does. He looks so... Yeah, really does.
Finally, he felt really accepted here in Warsaw, and he felt he'd found some people he could talk to about his beliefs about the world and about himself. Having recognition.
She doesn't even know where she's going with it. Look at her little... Look at her little tongue flick.
Accepted here in Warsaw.
It's a little rep, look.
Some people he could talk to about his beliefs about the world.
Yeah.
Having recognition and people listen to him was probably...
And then what do they show you? What do they show you? The fucking aviation gargoyle creature on top of the... Oh, come on. I'm not even going to bother. Is it even worth it? It's worth it, but is it worth me telling you? You know, didn't you?
Conspiracy theories are not based...
Ducks. That's how they see us. Ducks. Lame ducks. Yeah? Sitting ducks.
On rational thinking, but they are based on intuition or some sort of
always ducking out the way of the truth.
This type of reasoning a monological belief system. So this is a view that the world is ruled by conspiracies. and the content of the conspiracies doesn't matter. What is important is this level of distrust. We have some data that prove that belief in conspiracy theories can lead to feelings of powerlessness. This is some sort of vicious circle.
It sounds quite dangerous, especially because you can sit online, can't you, for hours and just go through conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory.
Oh, you mug!
Making people feel more frightful, but also we know that.
Oh, try harder, guys.
More prone to believe in conspiracies.
Max's mum Vanessa knew that he was sometimes afraid and anxious.
Again, I'm just going to let that just marinate. It's not worth it, is it? You get it, what they're trying to do, right? Okay. Wow.
What I worried about was that when he started to get worried about people who were interested in him to the point that they may follow him, he started to think that people at certain times, it's a slight paranoia.
What was Max afraid of?
You can tell she's been caused because every time the birds is a recorder really rather than a reporter, isn't she? She's just a recorder. She's getting the button pressed on her, playing it back. But every time she says something, the mother follows it. Exactly. So the drug, she went, yeah, maybe it was an altercation. Yeah, there was same thing. Paranoid, yeah, no, it's paranoid. Yeah. Guideline now.
He wasn't the only one afraid for his future. We've been sent some emails that suggest Max was not in a good way.
Would you be willing to help Max Spears? I think that he needs an urgent help.
Okay, I'm just putting this out here again quick. Help is code to eradicate. What was that? That was part 3. Okay, last part, guys. Thank you for sticking with me if you have stuck with it this long. I really, truly appreciate that, and I'm sure Max does too.
It's just before I fall asleep, or if I'm in an in-between state, that's when I see them.
Paranoia and drugs played a big part in the life of Max Spears, a British conspiracy theorist. But did they have a role in his death? Max died in Poland in July 2016, and it seems that some of his friends there knew he was unwell.
Yeah, that breathing. I'm insane. See what they're doing?
We've been in contact with a man in Poland who says he is a quantum therapist.
Yeah, I saw the numbers and all that, but we'll just focus on the lies that they're trying to sell as facts, as truth, rather than fiction.
He sent us copies of emails from Monica DeVal and Madeline Namro, who were friends with Max in Warsaw.
Listen to the singing and...
Yeah, they like to show you Day of the Dead associated with the child, because Day of the Dead to them is the day that they bring death to a child, okay? No reason to show you it.
A lot about Vanessa and how hard it would be for her. Max was her baby boy, and then he grew up, and whatever happened in his life, he's now completely distant from her.
Watch how she blames all this loss, tragedy, bereavement and grief on conspiracy theory. Which isn't what it is it? It's us truth researchers researching the truth. That's it. But they obviously label it conspiracy.
Beyond the story, beyond the theories and the conspiracies and the online chat, the fact is that she's lost her child and his children have lost their father. And that's huge. It's really
yeah, It's really big. Yeah, you're really convincing. Look at her. Look at her little lined face. Look at her little duper's light. That's really big. It's like really, I really care. I really.
Max died.
Oh,
Vanessa
awful.
to investigate if anything happened.
These things are awful.
Did he know something? Or was he just unwell? Vanessa and Max were in constant contact until 4 days before he died, when he went silent. That's around the time that the last interview was apparently recorded. The next thing she knew, he was dead. But the mystery doesn't end with his last breath. When Vanessa called Monica on the night Max died, she felt something strange was going on.
There were definitely people there. I could hear people there. The urgency team and the doctor and everything were long gone. They were trying to, all sorts of, I don't know what, to bring Max back hours after. They were talking about these strange things like cups of milk and cups of vinegar, and I could hear all this being said. There was no question in my mind from those conversations. He wasn't there anymore, nothing I could do.
2 pillars of Freemasonry is why they're showing you that. The roof would be the triangle. The sun above. There you go.
Stayed in the house overnight.
Seen that a few times. The pink and the yellow. See it?
Some people genuinely believe that Max was a super soldier.
Followed by another one. They can't help it. They're so greedy. I always tell you, don't I? If they weren't so greedy, it'd be easy. They'd be harder to suss. So what do they follow it up with? You guys know by now, right? The staircase. Yeah, of course. Levels, the pyramid. Fuck.
That his mind could be controlled.
So cheap.
And that he could
They are so cheap.
Max was dead. They recovered him. They were working on his soul. You've got 6 hours to do that while the body's dead. You have 6 hours energetically, and the Russians have done a lot of work on all this stuff with the energy in the body and stuff like that. This is pretty well known scientifically. In fact, I think I've got a book about it here somewhere.
Probably a humour in him. You probably do, you fucking nutter. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, probably. Amongst the rest of the shit up on the shelf.
Pretty well known scientifically. In fact, I think I've got a book about it here somewhere.
She's
dead people.
She's a mouthy one, isn't she? Eh?
So this is in the textbooks. It's there. They know about it. So you've got 6 hours to deal with that energy when you're dead.
Yet another theory surrounding Max. I've been shown
How is what you're doing not theory? You keep saying the word apparently, darling, don't you? Because you don't want it to come back on you or the BBC if it happened to be the truth. So that's a theory then, isn't it? With even more symbolism. She could have stood anywhere. She didn't have to stand in front of the stairs. She didn't have to stand in front of the black brick wall. Fuck me. See, I don't think they try harder because they don't think that we need that effort, you know. That's why I make these videos, because we have to show them that not only are we on to them, but we actually know more than they do, because they're pawns and we're knights on this board.
Picture by Vanessa of Max's dead body, and on his forehead is this large, strange, sort of dark mark about the size of my thumb. It looks a bit like a blood blister. But
The size of your bent flexing thumb, your little tear thumb, about the same size, yeah? Okay.
Services notes. And there isn't any record of that, and there's no record of any injury to Max at all.
That was necessary. Freebase pair.
Home as quickly as we could. He arrived in a sealed coffin because he travelled across 4 countries. His body had decomposed, apparently, that the recommendation was that no one should see him. My daughter did, and she was very, very upset. The part of his face that she could see was so dark, it was unrecognisable. I've not seen him, not since the day he got on the plane to go. His case came with him, but it didn't have his laptop or his phone. So a couple of 3 weeks later she sent it, but there was no SIM card in the phone. And there was nothing on the computer at all. Somebody had clearly, definitely wiped everything off of it.
Clearly, definitely. Okay. Okay, so let's see what they have to say about that.
I don't
If
know
his own mother's saying that.
whether he adds things on there that somebody didn't want anybody to see. I don't know. This is what I'm waiting to find out. It makes no sense to wipe somebody's computer. No sense to me.
I'd really like to know what, if anything, is on that computer.
See, what'd I tell you? I'd really like to know what, if anything, if there was even anything to worry about. Nothing at all. This is what I'm trying to teach you, okay? I don't think I need to be honest. I really don't. I know you know. I know you can feel it, can't you? But they don't think you can. Because all they do is think. They don't feel. They have no heart to do so. And if they did, they'd feel yours and go, fuck, they're onto us. They know. And they feel.
Now in Kent.
She is such a cheeky little monkey, isn't she?
I'd really like to know what, if anything, is on that computer. But it's with the coroner now in Kent, and it's forming part of the evidence into an inquest into Max's death.
Yeah.
The inquest is due to be held in the spring.
Right.
Vanessa is desperately hoping it will give her some answers.
Yeah, you're not. You're reporting this. All she's been going on about is finding the answers. See? Don't give a shit. Oh, and the spring in which she's speaking of was 4 years ago. Still no answer. Still inconclusive. Still a smeared campaign upon the assassination of Max Spear's character. Okay? This weren't about him. This is about him, but it's also about you and I. Okay? Because this could happen to anyone when they go too far, get too far. Okay? And that's why I've done this entry. So I hope you've enjoyed. And I hope you've learnt something about what they're trying to hide from you. Okay? The education and the lesson are not the same thing. They're giving you a lesson here, but it won't educate you. I'm trying to educate you without the lesson because you already know it.
I want to know what happened to my son. Massive, massive gaps that are extremely painful for me every morning that I wake up. I worry about what happened to him. I don't know. I have no answers.
Okay. Do you mind what the answers are? I'll tell you what, this bird's a psychopath. I don't know, I've only just put it together now. I've watched this interview twice now. All 4 of them is one. And there's a lot of traits within her. How can you... Do you hear what the mother just said?
Morning that I wake
and then the reporter's response.
up. I worry about what happened to him. I don't know. I have no answers.
And of course, they've gone out their way to make this documentary to give answers. That was the whole point. I want to find out who the real Max was behind the conspiracy theories and give answers to his death. They've given you nothing. Nothing. They never give you anything. Anything. All it is a vehicle to transport their shit, their bullshit, their lies, their deception, and their smear into your subconscious. That's it. That's the point of it. There's never any answers on the other end, so why even bother making it? Doesn't even bring more questions. It just leaves you with the same ones. Pointless. So yeah, all the mother wants is answers. And what's her response?
Do you mind what the answers are? It's more important
Oh,
to me,
mate.
I never
Heartbreaking, isn't it? That's the point.
About it, but it's more important to me to know what happened.
Shouldn't even be talking about it. So now you know she's being real in this point. She's thought, fuck you, coursing me. I'm going to end this by saying, speaking from the heart. Yeah? Because the woman triggered her. That's why.
It's more important to me. I never thought that I'd be in a position to be even talking about it, but it's more important to me to know what happened.
That's why she says that.
Whatever it is, than not knowing. Yeah, just the truth. Just the
truth. That's all we wanted, and look what happened to him. That's all we want. Let's see what happens to us. Well, whatever happens to us, we'll know we did the right thing, won't we? And whatever happens to them, they'll know they did the wrong thing. So whether it be on the inside or the outside, I'll know that we did the right thing to find each other on the other side of the cube. I love you all.